Hi Gemini, welcome to your July 2015 Tarotscope. So I've decided to do the same sort of spread that I did last time, and this month I'm going to weave in some astrological transits and give an overview of the coming month. On the 1st, we have a full moon at almost 10 degrees Capricorn that falls in your 8th house. This is going to occur at 9:20 p.m. Central Standard Time. And there are a couple of nice aspects along with this that relate to visualization and meditation, psychic exploration, with the sun trining Neptune and the moon sextiling Neptune. So with this lighting up your 8th house, this could mean something to do with a partner's money, or money from taxes, money from some sort of stocks that you either plan to sell or have sold. And so keep an eye on this for the very first day of the month. You're going to have your 2nd and 8th houses activated during July because of the Cancer Capricorn polarity. And this probably will mean that July will be a good month financially. You will be called upon to concern yourself with money. And I know that Geminis typically are not that obsessed with money. Like everyone else, you know that you need it, but you just want money for freedom, for the sake of freedom. So the card that I drew first, which is supposed to indicate the energy coming from June, was in the Major Arcana, and it was the Death card. And the Death card shouldn't be taken literally to mean someone's death. It really indicates transition, change, closure, paring down your life, accepting that you are going into the unknown, and accepting whatever has happened. And I think that as far as signs go, that Gemini is really good at this, because you guys are mutable signs. You know, you have the ability to change, to shift, and you don't get hung up on situations the way certain other signs might. But it still can be a bit jostling sometimes to experience change, especially if it's something that you don't particularly want. But it can be really liberating too. So I think of the Death card more and more as a good card, as a card for life changing for the better. And then we have a new moon in the middle of the month in Cancer on the 15th of July at 8:24 p.m. Central Standard Time, 23 degrees Cancer. And this activates your 2nd house, so there might be new ways that you think of and are able to earn money. You have Mars there. Mercury will be there at that time. It's going to go into Cancer on the 8th of the month. So by the 15th it's there, and this means that you're going to be thinking about, ways to earn money. You're going to have your mind on your finances. You're going to have the energy to accomplish these things. And so in general, there's just a lot of activity with this house. For the first half of July, I picked the King of Wands in reverse. Now, it's interesting because different books and different websites give different types of interpretations. I have, the gamut. This could be some person. It's usually an actual person in your life when you get the court cards. So kings usually represent fathers or male authority figures. So it could be bosses. It could be another person who is in charge of something. It could be your actual father, though. And if you have a rocky relationship with him, he could be, he comes in and out of your life. This could be one of the times he comes back in. But it could be somebody who's just an understanding man who has gone through some stuff himself, and he's able to lend. However, wands relate to fire signs. So this guy could be a hothead. This could be like kind of a bully, someone who has anger management issues, and who's kind of like a petty tyrant, as Dr. Wayne Dyer calls such people, who uses his position of authority to, vent on other people and to feel powerful. So it could be either one of those scenarios. I also was thinking that if you're a woman, this could be maybe a baby daddy who is coming back into the picture and trying to get with you. Or I want to talk about the Venus retrograde for a moment, because that's going to be occurring on the 25th of July, and it will be at 1 degree Virgo, going back into your third house of Leo. And you have Jupiter in the third house, so this has been a blessing for communications. The third house is Gemini's natural house. So there's some kind of kismet, serendipity related to communications during this past year. And with Venus going back there, you could hear from somebody on Facebook or another internet source that knew you back in the day, and you could rekindle some sort of relationship, because Venus in retrograde often points to that sort of thing. So if you want that, that's great. If not, just keep your eye open for former loves to suddenly reappear, and maybe it will be electronically, not in the flesh, at least at first. So that's at the end of the month. But the reason I talk about this is because you got 2 King's cards in reverse this month. So there might be a little bit of problematic energy concerned with father figures, or father figures for your child that are, might be causing problems. Or it could just be that these people are those who have been through the ringer themselves, and now they've gone through the fire. They can help you. The third card I drew was to represent the second half of July, and you got the Star card, and I love the Star card. That's like one of my favorite cards. And the Star card relates to faith, expecting your good. I would even say the law of attraction. Seeing a positive outcome for whatever has occurred, feeling peaceful regardless of what is around you, renewing your hope. And I connect this to the Death card. So if something has happened that has really been an ending of sorts, this Star card comes along the last half of the month, and all of a sudden you realize that there's all this good that's awaiting you. And so it's a very hopeful sign. And then I got to represent the energy for the entire month, the King of Pentacles in reverse. And this could be yet another kind of father figure or male authority figure, a boss. And this is a tacky guy. This is a crass guy. He can be very materialistic. He can be sexist. He can be miserly. And he can be a grifter. So if you know who I'm talking about, if you have somebody in your life that fits that bill, just realize that he might be more a part of your life in the month of July. And you can choose not to deal with him if you want. You know, that's the beauty of life, is that we have more control over our lives than we think. Sometimes, especially if people are part of our family, we think, oh, I have to have this person in my life. But that's not true. If somebody is, you know, being abusive in any way, you don't have to just automatically have them in your life. So if this is a boss who is not paying you what you're worth, who just looks at what you're producing and doesn't look at how he is making your workplace miserable, or if this is a father or a father-in-law who has overstepped his boundaries, just realize that the Star card shows that there is light at the end of the tunnel, even if now it seems like, oh my gosh, I have to deal with this situation. I love the optimism of that Star card. And it means that no matter what, you can still be peaceful, because that's one of the things, you know, even if you have to deal with this crass guy, remember that this too shall pass. Gemini, on the last day of the month at 5:43 a.m., we have a second full moon in the sign of Aquarius at almost 8 degrees. And this is called a blue moon because it's the second one in a month. And this falls in your 9th house. So if you're finished with a writing project and you're going to publish, this is indicated at this time. And it also relates to your life philosophy. You might be thinking a lot about what you really believe. And I also want to mention the fact that Uranus is going retrograde at 21 degrees Aries on July 26th, and this falls in your 11th house. So I think it's really going to stimulate you wanting to go for your dreams, because the 11th house is the house of hopes and wishes, and Uranus is already quite a force to be reckoned with, and when it goes in reverse, that's even more so the case. It's like people want to bust out of their restrictive consciousness ideas and just go for it. And in the 11th house, that means going for your dreams. And so I think that's wonderful. I think that with the full moon in the 9th house, that you can really reflect on exactly what it is that you want to make of your life on the highest level possible, not just on the day-to-day mundane level. And so, Gemini, I hope you enjoyed your Tarotscope, and I will see you in several weeks, and we'll talk about August. Take care, everyone. Bye.